2 light sources is equip and not obtain. Yes, I'll own that. But as we get into this, I should have actually shown you the scoreboard, but I guess it won't matter if I get reset. But as we get in and start this, it's like test, ill-fated, character-exclusive Koji. Character-exclusive Koji. Deduction would be nice, we'll see first. But yes, I completely got that achievement wrong. I don't know why. I was looking, and in the recording, I know what I was thinking during the recording, kind of. It was that I got both light sources, and I'm like, huh, why didn't the achievement appear as we have light, figuratively and literally, charisma, strength, second mystery, dexterity, and Takshisan, maybe? And I was like, why isn't it say new achievement unlocked? Because he had to equip 2 light sources. But hey, I'll deal with it when I get there again. It's not that hard of an achievement, it's just when I hit quick play and try to survive, sometimes I have to fish, sometimes I don't. And that time I didn't have to, but boy, I'm not gonna mess with a cult shop. Who am I kidding? Yeah, well, that's a time for later. Let's focus now. Let me take a look at my mysteries first. And yeah, among other things, hey, I'm really scared about the state of most Western AAA games. Some of them are still okay, it's just... Ooh, I see Kana on the board, by the way. Vigil, Scissors, Flood, Hell. Well, this is going to be interesting. I mean, I know I'm doing Scissors and Flood, 2nd and 3rd. Vigil 4th, Hell 5th, maybe? Deduction would be nice. Nope. We'll take Strength, though. And we'll move on. Yeah, the state of AAA games, I guess everyone's, some more than others, have, by the way, thank you for the good luck, by the way. But yeah, it's the state of AAA gaming. Some people, the month of April was not great for a lot of people. And then moving into May, even worse. So I can only hope that, you know, let's just say individuals who are part of game development have a better time in the future and nothing too bad happens as of right now. Meanwhile, in Japan and elsewhere, on the other side of the world, almost literally for me, is they're doing a lot better. Some things are happening that are weird, but boy, again, it's not great for the Western part of gaming. As an overall, there are some indie games that have come out that are pretty cool. A certain country about crows notwithstanding, but when I talk about AAA gaming, as I look at Forest and Village, boy... it hurts so bad. It hurts me so bad. Do I mean a certain indie company from a certain place cut half of their employee? Yeah, that, and I noticed that. I had to look at it because there are certain representatives that mentioned the names of certain, I think, certain dev teams, and they didn't get them right. I think it was like it felt like a typo, but since they were talking out loud, and then I had to look it up, and I was like, they did get the name wrong. I was like, oh, they did get the name wrong. Just like how I almost got a certain name of another dev team wrong, but you know, I don't know how to explain it. It just happened, but skins make for a better profit. That hurts me so bad because. Again, it's not that the practice itself, while it can be quite nefarious, it's not inherently nefarious. It's just, well, it's observable that it's not working to some degree, but maybe someone's getting enough money or somewhere or being happy. If that's the case, we'll see what happens in the short-term future, like literally short-term future, because certain shows for games are coming out soon, and they need to announce something. And I'm usually in the indie dev scene, but there's no that's no reason not to think about. That's no reason not to think about AAA games. You still want a general picture of everything, even though I'm, you know, not quite good at remembering things. I mean, at least I can say I looked into it and then forgot it. And the act of forgetting things can also mean something, because that can, just off the top of my head, if you forget about a game or something, then boy, oof. It's not just, I mean, sometimes there's not enough marketing for certain games, but other times, games don't pop at you, and these days, I mean, I'm coming from a relatively, let's just say I'm coming from a low-income past history, recent or otherwise, and when you have to select what games to play, and at this point you might be wondering, well, why are you worried about video games then? It's because, well, video games is kind of my living, so it kind of behooves me to, I use that word a lot, behoove. It would be to my benefit overall, personal life, professional life, and otherwise, to be in tune. Those skins had to be off of someone, well, At this point, again... Now, have I repeated that yet? I don't think I want to say that. That might not be correct to say. Listen, but I do know that someone got the name of a dev team wrong, and that was a bit oof. But hey. Still waiting for Blue Protocol? I know some people are. that game's been popping up on my feed a lot more often. Oftentimes things come to my feed by ear because I'm working while listening to things, but you know, 5 claps by the way. And we'll move on. Is this wooden bat better? No, we're not on random item stats. No, we're not. By the way, you were in a stream a few months ago asking about game design stuff. Was that too distracting for the stream? No, because I put that on me to... Oh, that's right, we're on Zectast. I put that on me to kind of figure out. There are more than a few... I mean, you probably know of more than a few streamers who are good at playing games while speaking with chat. Now, the extent of which that affects someone's gameplay differs, but to me... Again, if I do lose focus, and I think I've admitted it once. I admitted it once or twice, but that's because it's kind of blatantly apparent. But I forget things about, like, the light burn achievement anyway in World of Horror, so, I mean, how much am I being distracted, really? By the way, 5 claps. And I think Maru... Actually, is Maru my first encounter, by the way? I did not run into a single encounter. I'm also dying to reason, but there's nothing I can do about that. Again, I'm going to keep hammering myself. I'm not making fun of anyone. If anything, I'm making fun of myself, because I really should not have forgotten how to do the light burn achievement. I think I actually lost subs off that video. I mean, again, it's readily observable information. By the way, I think I still want the camera for... no, I prep attack, but... We do want deduction here. We do need to increase dexterity as well, but I should be able to increase that... Not decrease it. Increase that before I hit 84% Doom. But here we're doing Timeline B, so once we get into Flood, we should be relatively okay. We'll get the Restless bonus, but whether or not that's going to be enough, I can check in the meanwhile while I'm doing this. I did not do a Zectast run yet, so interesting to note that, yeah, this would be a 4 on my scoreboard. By the way, clap, bow, I think. And then we lose Bath, so... Pain. We're going into Flood. We also have Vigil and Household Hell, so a lot of mansion investigations afterward. But we're also in the middle of a thing now, so I can't... I mean, I could go for a desperate play. I wouldn't be very accurate, but... Would dodging even be better? Or / camera flash, I guess. Maybe? Maybe so? I'm gonna try this out. If I don't dodge whatever, I lose 1 stamina. I should probably think about trading stamina, by the way, but we did dodge the attack. I can throw the Stalker's Mask afterward. So, before we do all that stuff, let's trade off about 4 stamina now, so that we can deal with at least 1 school investigation. And I don't have enough to do that, so I can only trade 2 stamina. But that should be more than enough if I have to take penalty damage. The school should not be high threat level. Well, we're going to find out. Never mind, I miscalculated, so we have even more stamina we can trade off. We want to trade off stamina. That's all I'm trying to say. But so if I didn't already address it, second encounters are something I haven't really been on the ball with. I usually logic them out, basically. I think that Sweaty Assailant was my second encounter. Into the Young Witch we go, and unfortunately, we don't have Desperate available. So, I mean, I guess we do this and hope. I could throw the Wooden Bat and the Stalker's Mask. I guess I could do that. Yeah, I should have Improvise, right? I do. So we can just throw the mask, and then we do this. And we'll be okay. Broken Box Cutter, because broken... Wait, are we on the thing? What? Why do we have a broken Box Cutter? Well, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna check my achievements after this. Why did I get a broken box? Anywho, that's fine. I'm gonna count this run anyway, but will I eventually release some more guides? Did some good ones on Common and Basics, but hoping to see more advanced strategies. Yeah, I know I addressed some people. If that wasn't you who addressed it in a comment way long ago, I really should get into that. Basically, I want to, but I'm also juggling, well, trying to juggle Stardew Valley, but also Stardew Valley might be slowing down because I'm prioritizing Hades too. Now, whether I make Hades 2 videos, again, I usually give the game a week or two before I do anything. I want to see what people have come up with. That way, you know, I can fill in some spots. I usually don't like to make redundant guide videos, so if someone's already put out a good guide or tips video, I don't like to do it. I was planning to put out a Lighthouse video, but obviously Webweaver made one first, and, you know, it's a really good video. You should go watch it, but yeah, in terms of advanced strategies, I probably should. I haven't really. I would want to make it a formal video, and those take longer, but at the same time, I'm doing game dev. So the short answer is yes, I should, and I want to. The longer answer is I'm trying to do game dev stuff, so it'll take at least a week. I'll tell you that much, or somewhere in next week, because at the end of this month, my life situation is going to change, but things are happening around me, so I have to kind of adjust for what may or may not occur. Though I feel like everyone around me would be understanding, because literally this channel is part of my part of what I'm working on, so fun. By the way, I do want to go into the school. I have some reason. Let's hope I don't lose too much. And we can turn on the lights. I'm instead going to... Now we can turn on the lights. That's extra reason. And now, yeah, now that's the end of the... It's the end of the mystery. So, what game dev? I'm doing RPG Maker stuff. I want to put in a game on this channel, which will be free. You're free to donate, so it'll still be a quote-unquote commercial project. That's just how the definition of tax is in the USA. But I also, I'm basically juggling, also trying to develop 2 games at once. So one of them is going to be for this channel, but they're both going to be RPG Maker games. I said the one that I wanted to be free was going to be a roguelike of sorts, and it's just going to be like an asset flip. I'm using just RPG Maker assets, or basically leftover assets from assets I've bought before. That's my acupuncture blog going, because I have acupuncture stuff, but the second one I want to make from pretty much the ground up. It might still be using things like the RPG Maker font, because, as it turns out, font is... I can talk about this stuff while I'm doing this. I'm autopiloting anyway, but yeah, it's... The second game I do want to sell, basically. But the one I'm doing for this channel is going to be absolutely free. It's always going to be absolutely free, and I want to play along on this channel, just as a kind of fun change of pace. It's not going to be the most amazing thing, but again, if it's something I'm working on, we'll see. Again, this all starts from funness, but the second project is going to be more... if I'm focusing on the business aspect of things, yeah, that's where I'm focusing. We're going to do Vigil now, by the way. We're doing an RPG Maker game. It's a roguelike in first person. Yeah, I've seen a lot of interesting RPG Maker projects. And advice from a certain video that I've seen before is quite correct when it says that you're more likely to be successful. Well, I'm paraphrasing and I'm adding my own spin on it, but you're more likely to be successful with an RPG Maker game if it doesn't look like an RPG Maker game. Which I think Little Goody Two Shoes was also an RPG Maker game, but you obviously can't tell immediately, so yeah. Among other things. Almost 6 years of development, yeah. I wouldn't say I've been in development, but I've also used ideas, sent out prototypes anonymously, and have tested things out. So for me, it's been about the same amount of time if we're looking at like the business side of things, because I've also been trying out other things. You know, I've been looking at the marketplace in terms of what jobs I can do, and yeah, game development seems to be always where I succeed the most at. But again, it's not easy either. But it's not exactly the hardest thing to do. A lot of it, at least in terms of coding things and whatnot, can be a redundant process, but the hard part about that is sticking with it, in my opinion. But again, my experience is not going to be the same as everyone else's. I think I have like a playlist, and I think I have 2 that I've now probably taken down, but essentially I've tried to log my progress making RPG Maker games, and that, you know, I've had to swerve a lot, but now I'm a bit more focused at the moment after April, the tragedy that was April. For those who don't know, April was a bad month for me, aside from 1K subs on YouTube finally, which I will always thank you, the viewers, or anyone who's subscribed, well, mainly and anyone who's subscribed up to this point. Because boy, it's been a long time. And it's not exactly when this channel was born either. I have enough dexterity, right? Am I going crazy here? Do I need another point of dexterity? Do I have coughing blood or something? I have broken bone, that's what it is. Okay. Well, I'm going into household hell. I'm not going to be able to get rid of it, but as I slowly focus a bit more. Yeah, it's been a long journey. The start of this channel is not when I started working on things on YouTube. I kind of you can obviously see by the Monster Hunter videos that I've, you know, made up a small bulk at the very beginning of this channel's lifespan, but that was more me, you know, trying things out slowly, and then obviously I think I started with like Honey Pop, funny enough. So that's interesting. Also, that's right, we're on Ill-Fated. I also want to get rid of this broken bone, so I want to sell those though. I think it's worth the doom here. Yeah, it's worth the doom here to do this. And then get rid of the broken bone. Basically, my life is slowly making a turnaround. I am working from the bottom up, although I do thankfully have a very encouraging environment around me, and for that I'm thankful of. You do need a lot of things to make things work in the gaming sphere. So yeah. Although I wouldn't say I gave up, but there was a moment of time. It's around the World of Horror period. You'll find a span of like 6 months, I think at around 6 months when I stopped playing World of Horror. That's because things were happening in life, and that really shouldn't have been the case. I think I've said it before. Nice 90% miss, by the way. But it's, hold on, that just snapped me out. I did just miss twice, right? That's literally 1%, by the way. If you miss 10% twice, or there's a 10% chance to miss, and you do so twice in a row, that's a 1% chance. Yeah. Speaking of not giving up, yeah, I'm just gonna throw both of these at this point. I might even throw the camera. I'm that out of it right now. Well, I'm not out of it, but you get what I mean. Now, do I want to gamble on this if I'm gonna miss twice like that? Oh my goodness, I'm failing to click. I'm committed at this point. No, I should just keep bracing. I really should keep bracing. It's because I'm surprised because every time, you know, every once in a while, even if I'm, again, not exactly watching, but listening to people play World of Horror, I see 90% happen 100% of the time around me. Guess I'm the 10, guess I really am the 10/1%, right? Again, I'm not completely unlucky. For that, I have real life to thank, but when it comes to video games, hey, at least I can make something out of it in terms of, I feel... No, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here. Basically, I'm not the unluckiest person in the world. That I am sure of. But I have this whole channel to look back on when I say, look at my RNG in video games. At least. But anywho, yeah. I don't know why it's like this. I mean, theoretically speaking, it's pretty much close to 50%, but hey. So since we're gonna Lighthouse our way to victory anyway, we're just gonna double tap this encounter. No RNG required. Because either way we'll get to... Well, it was guaranteed attacks. I'm going crazy. Oh, we fought 2 enemies. Was that 2 enemies in the mansion, by the way? That looked like 2 enemies in the mansion. Anywho. Moving on. No bats, so just making sure, but... I can take out the film roll. I won't level up again anyway, and it's not like I need to. Charisma, we lose 2 stamina. 5 reason. We lose 5 reason because that's a light check. We can increase strength, but it's not going to matter either. And we do we have Takshisan at the end? Yes. But either way, if we heal reason here, we should be okay. Just making sure though. Can I? Okay. Can I level up is what I was going to say. Light reason, yeah, 5 reason, 6 stamina. But if I rested once because for some reason we're taking 6 reason here, we're not. But I used to think you took 6 reason here, you would take it. But we don't even have the second encounter. But I remembered it. It should be the Sweaty Assailant. But anywho, if we die here, it's all on me. That I will take this as a reset because it's more a me problem. But when we get to Takshi, there's no reason why I shouldn't have rested. By the way, I'm not losing this much Doom, but hey. Let's make it by the skin of our stamina, reason, teeth. Doom, on the other hand, is going to be perfectly fine. But yeah. Scissors. That's not my cup of water. Where am I going? Yes, I have multiple cups on my table. And I was about to say, did I not take it out with me? Anywho. Can I click, by the way? I was about to say. Yeah, this should just be a gimme. I'm gonna handcuff just in case something weird happens, but we should be perfectly fine here. And we are perfectly fine. And hey, that's a Zictast run down. Hey, if I do a big oopsie in a Harbinger horror video, but I somehow get close to passing or past Nuzlocke in this stream, that would be nice, but as I show you the scoreboard really quickly, for some reason I don't have it ready, yeah, we should have a score of 2 now, because that's Zictast. We stopped at a score of 3 last stream, and if that's not correct, well, correct me when the time comes, but until then, yeah, pretty much all the base gods plus Azal, obviously, but let me check something really quickly. I am on my Harbinger Horror save file, which is not correct, so I do need to start the game over again. In fact, I need to actually get my backup because I saved over the thing, so good thing I keep backups, but let me just make sure that everything is okay, because I don't have everything unlocked. I'm gonna count that, by the way, because all things considered, if you're playing without every single achievement, the game does become harder, in my opinion. But if for some reason you want to disqualify me, do so in your mind, because I'm moving on. Also, I did not do the thing correctly. Hopefully I did that correctly, because otherwise I'm gonna go crazy. But I need to restart the game really quickly, so as we, restart the game really quickly, we're going to take another look at the achievement board just to make sure I have everything unlocked, and yeah, we should be perfectly fine. So, achievements, okay, good. And away we go. Yeah, all things considered, I feel like playing without achievements on Harbinger is a lot harder. But, as we get into Yogathag again, Eldritch Parasite, all perks, Jury. Maybe this is the more difficult one, because I don't have every single backstory, which means I can't get things like Curious Birthmark and or Eldritch Parasite. Second Encounter, Dexterity, Takushisan, Light, Knowledge, and maybe Charisma? But we're essentially taking, probably, a bunch of damage. I should have suspected something when I saw that when I loaded my town, I had a cult shop instead of vending machine, but I didn't really suspect anything, but hey. I was supposed to set the illegal den, now I'm gonna cry if I have the thingy-majiggy ward. But I guess we'll find out. We'll stick with the default outfit for the moment. We have Metamorphosis, Arms, Mermaids, Footage, and Hell. So let's get out of the roads closed shenanigan hole. And look for, Ghostly Spear. Okay, cool. Immediately go out, because we want to also level up as Jury. That would be nice. I forgot what other stuff I have, but I know I have Metamorphosis, so we're going to set the patrols to the seaside. I think we also have, not mermaids. Sailors? Do we have sailors? Well, we're going to find out. We're headed off into this max threat level school. Again, we're doing this mainly to... Oh, please don't give me an injury. Why did I believe... And it's badly bleeding, too. I shouldn't have done that to myself. I knew better! I don't prefer the occult shop because I personally have less success with fast weapons. And even if I had more success, there are only 2... Well, are there only 2 weapons? Cursed Doll you could call a weapon, or I'd call it a weapon, but... I've had bad experiences rerolling shops because I can't find any weapons at all, really. And it's possible to roll an occult shop that has no weapons in it. So I'd rather take hardware shop or illegal den. And that's the short version why. I think that's the long version why. The short version why is because I don't like the knowledge weapons in general. They are statistically better for you, theoretically speaking, but I personally don't have success trying to run a occult shop in general. If you give me a knowledge weapon and a character with 9 knowledge, then yes, obviously. But if we're talking about the occult shop specifically, no, I don't prefer it. I prefer the vending machines and to open up the 1 brick, but more importantly for me, I like working with the nicotine rush buff. And so I play with strats that may give me funds that allow me to get cigarettes at the vending machine. And then the brick is a nice bonus, but nicotine rush is also a pretty... it's a pretty me strat. I think only like 2 to 3 other people do it offhand. Like obviously if you're playing Haru, you pick vending machines, but for most characters I pick vending machine over a occult shop. It's just something I do. So yeah, if nothing else, you'll get to see what it's like playing with vending machines. It's more, again, it's more an option select regardless, but as I continue to lose stamina, I don't want to lose this much stamina, actually, and I'm holding on to the painkillers for no reason, so I should actually just sell these. But definitely no Occult Shop on Eldritch Parasite, because I play Eldritch Parasite with Occult Shop, fishing for Mind Drain and or Ghostly Spear 95% of the time. Because me playing with weapons, because I believe, I personally believe this, but it may not be correct. We're going to actually gamble here. Hold on. Okay, good. But I personally believe that if you have bad RNG in events, I think if you fail less than 50% of your events, that's around where I believe. It might be plus or minus 10%, but if you fail, like, say, 60% of your events on Eldritch Parasite, I think you're pretty much dead in a lot of situations. No matter what. Like, I'm saying no matter what, you have no choice but to die on Eldritch Parasite. You can't fail that many events and survive Eldritch Parasite while holding most weapons. Again, obviously, if you get the katana right away, well, even then. Because again, with bad event RNG, it can be really, really bad. By the way, we do have mermaids. We'll do mermaids into Household Hell. So yeah. But here, of course, again, on Eldritch Parasite, probably vending machines doesn't matter as much either. Unless I want to go fish for a brick, that's one thing, but hey. Also, Ronyo Gottbag, I forgot. What's our backstory? Oh, that's alright, Eldritch Parasite. I'm talking about it the whole time. Anywho. This is reason loss, right? Well, I haven't lost any reason yet, and that's bad, actually, because your lighthouse is usually going to have stamina damage. So your threshold for stamina is less than your reason. What I mean by that is, so when you go into the lighthouse, let's assume you have every single lighthouse check, and you fail every single lighthouse check. That means you lose about, let's say Takshisan hits you once, so you lose 13% Doom plus 6% if you're going up 6 floors, so that's 19% Doom. And then you fail every single stat check, so that's 9 stamina and 6 reason. So that's why I say your threshold for stamina is usually higher or lower for stamina than reason. And hence why I'm taking reason here. Also because I haven't lost any reason yet. So I should really look into losing reason in events if possible. Unless the game just lets me lose it. But we'll find out. We'll do vending machine. If for no other reason, yeah. To get cigarettes, we'll trade off reason for this. And we'll move on. Nothing much else to say. Reason, right? Nope, stamina. I'm going crazy. Isn't that stamina no matter what? Is that stamina no matter what? Anywho. We'll move on. This is Doom, by the way. We can take that. If we do have a boss, I guess we're gonna find out. Stick around and find out, alright? We're at Timeline A. And away we go. We get to level up with Jury. I forgot my second encounter, if we had one. I think it was the whatever... I think it was, yeah, it was the lady that did 2-2 all, because I... Hold on, let me think. Fast hands on your own. I should be on my own, right? I didn't take... Yeah, I don't have... that was last run. I had Kana last run. So we'll do this. In hopes that we keep all of our strength, but we'll see. Metamorphosis now. I mean, I could take it later. I'm using Ghostly Spear anyway, but the HP scaling is going to affect me anyway, so hey. To fish for Mind Drain, maybe? I'd rather that than the others, but we're rolling RNG anyway. It's a branching path, and yes, you are mostly relying on RNG in a lot of World Horror situations, but that doesn't mean you can't do your best. By the way, reason penalty on Eldritch Parasite, but we'll pray here for reason loss, because our doom is slowly and steadily rising. Let's not risk anything here. We will equip this flashlight, by the way. And we'll see what else happens. Our horror progress is steadily rising. But again, we'll see what happens here. So, I'm not going to smoke the cigarettes yet. I'm going to hold off on them. We'll Ghostly Spear until we get to our max stamina threshold, to which then we'll brace. I could just take the hit in the face, but 3 all is a lot, actually, so let's not do that. But after this, we should be free to do this. Yeah. 6 damage on demand. Guaranteed. But also throwing the brick, so really 11 if I really need it. But hey, Threat of Fate is not something I probably want to use. But we'll see. Yeah, none of these are... I mean, I could let allies go because I have on my own, so hey. I should build into anything else, but I'm building strength because strength. So, let's make sure. Yeah, 4 reason, which we may or may not have. We lost Bath. Doesn't matter, we're on Eldritch Parasite, thankfully, and into Mermaids I go. I could opt to handcuff... I probably will opt to handcuff the Janitor, considering Yoghathag is, you know, keeps following me around, and we are in Mermaids, so we do want to switch this for the sake of... I think we should probably trade experience as well, yeah. I'm gonna bank on the fact that I'm not gonna level up again. If we got enough experience to level up, then yes, but we're actually gonna do this. This is a random injury if I fail, but I passed, so hey. We can live with Frostbite, and we did level up again anyway, so hey. Fast learn, it's not gonna matter. I accidentally clicked out of the game. Irizumi, just in case. And more strength. I should get rid of this thing, but in the fear of my doom, I'm not going to get rid of Frostbite. Now, we are going to hit our stamina threshold soon, and there it is. But, as I said, we're going to brace at this point. And we do this. Instead, we're going to get an Occult Diary out of this, but still... Yeah, I think we're okay for the moment. We can definitely still survive this run. I'm just making a quick watch in case something really strange happens. Are you saying I'm strange? You better get I forgot what he says exactly. Or I'm taking you down. Perception, by the way. And away we go. That was Persona 4, right? Yeah, Persona 4. Anywho. Jog around the block. We have 9 strength. And away we go. Do we want to fight this mad janitor? Possibly? By the way, we purposely picked the lockers there, because if you pick the right decision, you lose reason instead, which, because it was at a high threat level, penalty stuff. But we should have more than enough cigarettes to survive. We could also skip this encounter, but I'm afraid of my doom, so... Yeah, I was quoting a character off Persona 4. Let me see here. Lumps, man. You got lumps. Anywho. No, I want to take damage here. I want to take damage on purpose. Because otherwise we're just losing stamina. I think at this point, yeah, we can go for the handcuff play. Now, I really need to hit this, so I really need to do this correctly. And in fact, we even get this, but... Oh, okay. I almost didn't get that. We do have a thing there. Book of Gore is absolutely useless, unfortunately, here. And now Crimson Moon, but hey, we'll deal with it. And into Household Hell, our final mystery. I forgot to check if we had Takshisan. Even if that's the case, we should survive, unless we take a boatload of stamina damage. I guess we'll find out. Or a boatload of reason, that too. But for the moment, we only have 1 Seaside Investigation, so no point going into the thingy. However, I do not want to spend a thing. I could use this. But I think I have both reason stuff. So we're gonna Ghostly Spear once, and then we're at max. We still get guaranteed brick, so I have guaranteed 15 damage. So what we're actually gonna do is Ghostly Spear one more time, lose 1 stamina, but then we throw the brick. Because we also have the Fire Axe. And then we'll move on. If we have Takshisan, he shouldn't cause us to lose. Now, if we keep running into encounters, I'm not going to find it very fun, but while we can deal 9 damage per 1 stamina damage, why not? We should be able to 2-tap this encounter. If not, pain, but yeah. Yeah, I was about to say, there's no way I don't 2-turn this encounter. Now, what happens in this mansion, on the other hand, as Yogata continues stalking me? I should have probably gone to the monument. Yeah, I should have gone to the monument. That was a misplay. I just misplayed. Anywho. Theoretically speaking, unless all the RNG turns around right now, I should not die here. I don't think we even have roads closed, so we should be perfectly fine. Now, you know what's not fine? This kind of, but even with Cadaver Theater, we should be relatively okay. I'm not going to take a risk, though, so we're going to do this instead. Yeah, okay. My next question was going to be, can we prep attack, prep attack? Thankfully, we can. Now, that's not the greatest item, but hopefully we get out in due time. Just take the reason damage. Now, I am a bit scared because I don't remember my lighthouse. Keeping in mind you cannot rest at the lighthouse due to Eldritch Parasite. You know, thankfully we're not on a high threat level, otherwise penalty damage would be doing me in right now. But thankfully we got out quickly, and we got Book of Gore again, but way to rub it in my face, game, but haha. Consistency. Turns out consistency helps somewhat. For me, anyway. Second encounter, which no, it was the Barkley, whatever her name was. Takushi-san, right as my cigarettes run out. I think that counts. But let's see. We should have more than enough stamina, and we should have more than enough doom. So we can boldly stride up this lighthouse, and we should be perfectly fine. Now we are on Yogata, so I'm still gonna be at a score 4. But hey, the Bark Woman, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. I survived doom-wise. And I should have more than enough HP to survive. Nicotine withdrawal? Yeah, so on the investigation that you go to 0 cigarettes is when you lose the thing. We can threat of fate this guy if I really want to. And we should still survive. Now, that was a bit dangerous. I shouldn't have done that, but hey. We have a light source. We have the power. Yep, and that's a good Yogata. Well, Yogata run down, but for the sake of keeping track of things, I should just show you the scoreboard. We are at 4. We just need any of the base gods and or Azal. Otherwise, if we keep repeating gods, I mean, hey, it's up to you to decide whether or not I should keep duplicating gods. Not really, because I'm deciding to do that to myself. But as we get to Zictast again, ill-fated, all perks random item Ico. We have an all perks Ico that can go any which way. I would prefer Ico perks, but hey. If we get something cool for it, I don't mind. Second, Charisma, Dexterity, Takushi-san, and Strength. So we'll get Strength for sure. Unfortunately, we're also on Zictast, so Ico has a passive for that, but for events, this could go quite badly. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Ico's Ico. On Zictast specifically, though, as I said, the passive speed bonus usually offsets Zictast to some extent. You're still a bit slower than you would be normally, or than you. Her passive is outdone by Zictast nerfing your stats to some extent, but it depends on what you decide to do, right? Do you like to prep attack? Do you like to attack 3 times? Do you like to brace like I do? Anywho, ramen, footage, painting, hell, and nails. Footage, painting, nails is what I want to do, but let's level up first and see what we get. Well, we do get Hot Bath immediately. I do need to increase knowledge once, or I die to 84% doom, but while we're here, footage. So that roads closed doesn't absolutely destroy me. That's usually the worry here, but we also have Ico's plush toy, so we also need to now increase perception, but the damage decrease is well worth it. In my opinion, at least. But as we Zictast ourselves shortly here, we should be relatively okay. 78 speed Monkey Wrench is pretty good. Even with Zictast nerfing us, we'll be able to prep attack quite comfortably. Although we will leave that for later. Did I take Hot Bath, by the way? I did. So, Hot Bath, good for base resting, but also good for offsetting Fetid Fumes, in case you need to rest at all. Because that jump from 3 Doom for 2 stamina 2 reason to 3 Doom for 1 stamina 1 reason is quite a big jump. You might as well be playing on Goizo. Although I think Goizo is still worse. Either way, it's both bad. What do I want to do? Oh, max threat level forest, police station, please. I think we have something else, but as long as it's, as long as it wasn't the mansion, we should be fine here for the moment. 5 strength, nope, that's right, ill-fated, I completely forgot, and we could actually die to stamina immediately for that. In which case, we're going to take an injury immediately. Well, the good thing about the Monkey Wrench is it does 5, so my 5 damage, so now I'm nerfed to 4 damage. But as I continue getting ill-fated in this forest, boy, it's not fun. So yeah, I should be able to 2-turn this still. Oh, we'll comfortably 2-turn this for a while yet. But we are losing a bunch of stamina. In fact, I should trade Reason right now, because we will not survive otherwise. Now, the unfortunate part of this is that I probably have to brace here. Unless I can find some. Maybe I don't want to trade. Well, I still want to trade a lot of Reason. I want to be at least 4 stamina at the end of this encounter. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get to do that unless I do this. So, 70%. I mean, it was 70%. What can I do? I have a bottle of water for this, but would have been nice. Would have been nice to have more stamina. We have to drink this now. Will I even get to use Hot Bath? I guess we're going to find out. Our Doom is still shooting up through the roof, and now we're on a max threat level forest, but... Oh boy, oh pain. A lot of pain. Favorite old god for their general coolness, favorite old god mechanically, and the most hated old god mechanically. Oh yes. I'm actually going to trade Doom here, funny enough, but... Can get me out of this forest! Thank you. Yeah, that level up was not worth the damage I took here. That was a lot of damage to take. We have a bath, but maybe I should not. Maybe I should have taken Fast Learner. I don't have a single ally with me. I also have Torn Muscle, but hey. In the interest of other things, Fame might be nice, but I can't rely on it, so we'll first increase knowledge and then see what happens. Given what I just did, I'm still going to do painting next. Both of these are bad for roads closed, but I got to get one of them out of the way. I feel like on Ill-Fated, I'm going to be as healthy as I'm going to be with right now, as opposed to later. We did get Perception, so thankfully I don't need to... Okay, thankfully Zektas did some of my work for me, but we're not out of the woods because Ill-Fated. And if Ill-Fated decides to throw you a bunch of failed checks that increase Doom, hope and pray. I think this backstory is only more hated, or less hated compared to... Which, I forgot which one. This is Reason? Reason. To Knight Errant, depending on the mystery loadout. But after that, I think Commoner would be one of the only other ones. Even though, yes, I usually play as if I'm on Ill-Fated anyway, you would still like to pass checks on a non-Ill-Fated run. I think there's 1 or 2 other backstories I hate just as much, but hey. A Doom decreasing event would be nice with all this pain, but if the game doesn't give me any of that, there's only so much I can do, right? Now, thankfully I did get Strength, but we cannot fight this boss. There's 3 Charisma, didn't need it. And into the man-eating plant, which we can one-shot if we throw the flashlight. Otherwise, I have to take... Well, this isn't even guaranteed, so... I want to keep the empty bottle. That's a lot of stamina to lose out on. So instead, what we're going to do is brace first, and then do the next turn. This is my last investigation, so I should be out now. And we only get 14 damage, that's right, because of the Torn Muscle. And then I lost Bat, so I should have thrown the empty bottle. Well, hey. What a time to be alive. On an ill-fated run, this is not what you want to see. But there's nothing I can do about that. I can hot bath. I have to, at least once. We also want to get rid of this torn muscle, too. So I guess what we're going to do is hope we don't get a bad curse. Which thankfully that isn't. Then we're going to get rid of this torn muscle, because that's actively hurting me. And then I rest at least once. I'll probably need to rest again. Yeah, I won't be able to... Yeah, I should get all my rest done now that I've just lost the Restless bonus, but my Doom is still rising through the roof, so... Pain! Thank you for the dexterity, I didn't need it. I guess we'll consume these painkillers now. And in the intro... Oh, please. This is not a normal luck check, but maybe that's still affected by ill-fated hay. Who's to say, right? I certainly don't remember. But as we take guaranteed stamina losses... we'll do our best. Oh my goodness, I can hit it. So this is a 1-all encounter, thankfully. Aiko's plush toy putting in a lot of work, by the way. But we're gonna fight a boss here that we're probably gonna handcuff. Unless this happens. Yeah, this is absolutely horrible. I think I actually throw the empty bottle here. Yeah, I do. I'd pretty much break even, but I'd rather break even on my HP than lose a lot more... or than have a lot more stamina and less reason, if that makes any sense. That being said, we're gonna heal and get Fast Swimmer. Oh, Daddy's Girl would be nice too, but... Fast Swimmer is more important for encounters, which we may just run to a bunch. My question is, can we go for a one-shot? Almost. I mean, it's close enough as doesn't matter, but if that's the case, I'm just going to gamble on this, unless I miss both of these. Then that would be the tragedy of a lifetime. Oh, I was so scared for a moment. This should be guaranteed. But I was going to react in case I did not defeat that encounter. That being said, again, I want to get the Tireless bonus. I don't think I'm going to get that. But our Doom is also quite high. We'll do Household Health first. I have to gamble on this. I want to try to get the Tireless bonus, because otherwise I'm going to lose too much HP. That is not great. Depending on what happens in the Seaside investigation, I will need to rest. I think what I'm actually... This shouldn't count for my Tireless bonus, so I'm going to heal stamina here. That's unfortunate. I got brain damage into 0 stat. Well, hey. We can't get rid of that. That's a curse, so... It was the safest option for me. My Doom was rising, and I know I should have rested first, but... yeah, there's no way out. There's no way out. I just die here. No! Well, hey. I'll visit the monument for giggles, but this won't do anything for me. So, yeah, we just die here, and we get reset. I knew Ill-Fated was going to be bad. I did make some mistakes during events anyways, because I forgot about Ill-Fated regardless, but... As I show you the now reset scoreboard, as I accidentally mess up the scoreboard for a moment, but yeah, that was a way to end that run. It was with Aiko again. Now there are a few mistakes I made, so there was no reason for me to have died where I did. But we'll just get back into it. So many exact tasks. Are you gonna give me another one? No, you're gonna give me a Yogatag run. Ill-Fated again. All perks, random item. Yashiro. Well, hey, even though I'm going to jinx it by saying this, but turns out Yashiro, I win more with Yashiro than I do some other characters, or a good majority, so maybe this is going to go well for me. Second, Something like strength. Every single stat check, maybe, except for charisma, possibly. But we're gonna go with my hardware store, and we're gonna look at our mysteries first. Library notes as well, before anything. Yeah, it's not gonna do much for me, so we'll just move on. And I guess we will take it slower, because hey, more thinking would be great. Akamanto, mermaids, household health, flood painting. Ooh. Well, I definitely want to get one of these mansion mysteries out of the way. Household hell painting. It'll depend, but I want to take Akamanto second because we have Flood, which is going to be third. I don't want to take painting now because I don't have a weapon. But we do get Adrenaline immediately. That's not going to help me still because I would like more damage first. So into Household Hell we go. We grab everything we can here. We do the normal consistent strat. Dependent on your store, obviously, but I use the hardware store, so basically grabbing a weapon at all. Now, these aren't the greatest weapons, so I'm going to actually reroll here, and 5 damage, heavy-duty flashlight. Don't mind if I do DEW. High threat level mansion, max seaside, max village. I guess we're setting it to the patrols to the mansion, so I don't take penalty damage. But afterward, we'll see. So we are fighting this ghost normally, which means we can do this, because with the power of adrenaline, I could probably brace, but let's just do this for the moment. My mind is kind of slowing down at the moment, forgive me, but I'll do my best to survive. Help. 4 perception, 3 charisma, nothing. Just take the guaranteed damage. Max level seaside? Anything interesting here? Luck, which ill-fated, so I forgot. Again. But hey, I shouldn't be as worried about... Well, that was the reason. I thought I took stamina. Yeah, I'm really losing it. Well, we'll do our best. We're just reset anyway. What a way to be alive. What a wonderful world. But just guaranteed. Compared to failing, I would rather, I guess. But the game just keeps pouring on Doom. So 46% Doom by the end of this mystery feels pretty good. It doesn't, but we'll do our best. Yeah, this should be a one-time. I am a bit tired. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hang in there, me. Future Jordan needs you to put something on the scoreboard. We failed this too, by the way, but we deal. Well, I'm just gonna say it because it's off the top of my head, but I swear to you that I'm usually trying to necessitate, making sure that things are paid for around here. So the chair I'm sitting on, as much as it's squeaking and making noise about being in pain, is not a high priority at all. Probably a very low priority if we're looking at a tier list of 5 tiers. Very low, low, medium, high, very high. First aid, doomed already. Hey, all ill-fated's favorite perk. And we'll move on. So Akamanto second. We're gonna lose a bunch of stamina here. That's fine. I don't think there are actually any ghosts that I can run into, so I would rather equip the Kendo helmet. Between the school and downtown, there shouldn't be any ghost enemies I purposely run into anyway. We heal reason, lose reason. Yeah, I would rather that than lose stamina, which we need right now for Akamanto pain. We have Akamanto, so we have more Doom to work with, but we want to be careful. I say as I nearly mess something up. Anywho, we do get box cutters. I don't think those are better for... Well, depends. We're on random item stats. Let's find out. 660, 50. It might actually be better at the moment. Yeah, it is better at the moment. If I'm going to prep attack anyway, I might be able to prep strong. Which would be even better. But in the meanwhile, pain. So, let's see if we do Akamanto correctly. -2 Doom, -2 stamina. We should still be okay. Yeah, we would need to hit this, so... Handcuff time. Box cutter broke, that's fine. It served its use against the boss. And yeah, I think we just immediately equip the Crestfallen Mask. No more opportune time. I should wait, but... never know. So into Flood I go. Oof. Well, I guess it'll depend on this run. I do want to do a second run after this, but let's find out. Can I prep strong? No, I can't. I barely can't. Should be perfectly fine. Oh my goodness, I'm going crazy. Oh, I swear I'll get some rest after this. But in the meanwhile, we are in Flood. Let's stay awake enough for me to concentrate on what's going on in the screen. Out of interest, if anyone's interested, yes, I was working on game dev stuff. I'm kind of in a bottleneck because I'm trying to figure out how best to. When you start making basically a lot of characters for a game and you want to balance all those characters together, turns out one little tweak of damage here and there can mean a whole balance worth of difference when you're looking at the character in between a lot of other characters. I think we should one-shot this, right? Yeah, we should. If I don't, I'm gonna cry. Okay. I was gonna try to prep. Well, the box cutter probably wouldn't have been enough, but hey, worked out. So let's just rest in game. I need some rest outside of game because I'm missing my clicks right now, and oof. Yeah, I think in the if I succeed, if I survive this run, I will. I guess that'll be the end of the stream. If I don't, sorry to cut that off, but yeah, I'm losing my mind. I should have gotten more. This is basically on me. Just like how talking in chat is a me problem if I lose focus, also being well-rested for a stream is also on me. But as I said, I haven't really broken... I usually like to go minimum 1 hour. If I have to cut it short, 90 minutes, but hey, I'll do my best. I also should have braced this turn. That's how I know I'm really losing it. Or I'm starting to lose it even more. Help! Survive, Jordan! Do it for future, Jordan! But, deduction would be nice. Parting gift is okay. But the more important one there is deduction. Just finish your roster of characters. Took a few months to develop all of them, balance their stats. Yeah. Again, it depends on... I don't know what genre you're doing, but I'm personally working on, as I get into painting. Ooh, I might burn school down in game, but... yeah, I've worked on games that are essentially... just short little adventures of reaching... I guess, to put out an example, the Demon Warlord. But if certain characters are not balanced correctly... it can get really, really weird, and obviously you stick with... I usually don't want this character to stick with a handful of characters. I do want them to rotate here and there. The problem then becomes, is it a pain to rotate characters here and there? But that's a different worry entirely. So, but I'm about to kind of spoil things a little bit because it is kind of what I'm working. Why did I grab the chainsaw there? You're going to be fighting... basically, the way you're using characters, and I'm kind of taking idea off of another game I saw, but the player character you're fighting is also a character you can fight against as well if you play other characters. So basically, you're working with the same toolkit as the enemy that you may be playing as well in the future. So, therefore, it all needs to kind of work together. Now, obviously, some of that revolves around battle AI and making your AI work correctly, but that's a me problem and not a you problem. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Anywho. Binding of Isaac is the best comparison. Again, unfortunately, I've never played that game myself, but I wouldn't doubt you if you made that opinion. Also, I should be trading stamina here, but we're going to find out shortly. Nope, I can't really... Well, if I do this, right? Yeah, that should be correct. So I'm going to trade some stamina for reason here. Just a little bit. But after this, we should get out. We have one more mystery left, and we're at 63% doom. Yeah, in the interest of not getting reset at the end of the stream, I think it's better for me to end the stream early and not get reset than try to force a run and then get reset. But hey. Really very surprised. Yeah, there's not often a lot of games that, at least compared to Binding of Isaac, like I wouldn't doubt you there just by looking at, because just by watching gameplay, you can still get a good idea of what's happening here and there. So what I mean by that is Binding of Isaac compared to other games, when players build a meta, and they're often going to do so, whether a game is PvP, fighting game, single-player strategy, single-player story-based game, they're gonna build a meta. And I think, in my opinion, just looking at Binding of Isaac, it does really well in having the player be able to at least adapt to things and not always go for a god build. Some players might complain about that, and I've seen players complain about that specifically for Binding of Isaac. But again, it doesn't make sense when every run is literally, you don't know what you're going to pick up. You can't, from what I see, you can't consistently pick things up. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm thinking of not Rebirth instead of base game. But I was watching Rebirth gameplay. Anywho, well, we're going to trade off things there, but we have the school nurse, so it should be fine for the moment. But hey, I'll definitely say, again, I mainly play World of Horror for its, bite-size. I can fit it into a bite-sized thing. I've never not said that. I've usually referenced that. But if there are other games that I can play really quickly that, I can get into with the audience, then hey, which I guess, well, again, that was the game. So I'll just say it right here. The game I was going to add to my rotation before Hades 2 became a thing was Mystery Chronicles One-Way Heroics. I think I have a video of that on my channel. Because at this point, World of Horror, it hasn't died down, but I'm currently kind of looking at things here and there, and I'm deciding on whether or not I want to do certain things. Now, I'll always come back to World of Horror. That's the game that put a lot of me here on this channel, but if I were to try and do otherwise, I wouldn't mind, branching out a bit more often. But again, 3 games is usually the max limit I can juggle. And that would include my own game if I decide to throw that on the channel here. Again, that's going to be kind of experimental, but we'll see. Second, by the way, so 85% Doom if I fail both of them. Strength, Knowledge, Dexterity, which I have more than enough stamina to survive. And do we have the 6th floor? Yes. But we don't need to worry about that. All we need to worry about is our Doom. So, if we get quick thinking, that would be nice, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. So, while I'm still awake and aware... So yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna call it after this stream. So I just immediately, if you want to support my channel, you don't have to... I'm gonna always, say something about membership here and there. I forgot which one, by the way. Toilet Ghost? No. But it is available for, I think, $3 USD. So that's about it. But otherwise, just wait for, if you want to support me elsewhere, I will more quote-unquote directly. It's probably going to be through itch.io. If you want to donate or, actually buy the game that I'm making, which will come out way later down the road. Hopefully, I'm looking at things this summer, but we'll see. I forgot this too, but hey, let me think. I'll come on to a second. But hey, the characters specifically are kind of like World of Horror, where you have to unlock them under specific conditions. Stat-wise, they have a variety, different abilities and gameplay style. So that's what you aim for your characters. Yeah, again, a lot of things can work. It's the execution and then kind of cutting around the edges. I guess, that's what I'll end about, so that at least I can end the stream on a happier note. But I don't want to push another run in case I somehow mess up. So that should be a Yogathag run, and it was. And I'll show the scoreboard real quick. We'll sit here for a moment just to make sure that future Jordan can see the scoreboard in case I need to do anything. But all things considered, I should just have this on screen. But yeah, we'll close out the stream here. So if you're not here to, listen to me by any means, then yes, I'm just going to go over game dev stuff because it is kind of pertinent to this channel. But again, it's not going to be anything. The free game that's going to be on this channel is just going to be like basically using asset flips. I guess if you want to ask any questions about like working with assets and whatnot, what I'm working with, just basically to let you know, I've used the Dejica store, or it's called Dejica, that's the Western version of it, but I've also gotten assets from various other places, mainly itch.io, that are usable in commercial-free projects. That's basically my baseline. At a very simple level, that's where I work with, for whether they're characters, whether there are, battle backs, maps, what's it called? I keep forgetting what it's called. I'm so tired right now, but basically, tile sets, BGM, sound effects, and whatnot. I usually get them off. I think most of them have come from the Dejica store / itch.io. And some of them are free assets, but again, the bare baseline is that they're available for commercial use. If they're only available for personal use, I'm probably not going to use it because of how, if anything, when you're working with a commercial project, you really want to. I feel you should be safe if you're a 1 to 4 man dev team. Otherwise, I mean, you can do whatever you want. Obviously, you should have plans out. I'm just in my case, I'm not really working with anyone, so that's why I'm grabbing assets here and there. Or for my second game, I'm making as much as I can by myself. That way, I'm not relying on anything else. But yeah, if I could, and especially time is my main constraint here. So as I switch back to the game and then we sit on the main screen, yeah, I'm gonna talk about game dev. So. Yeah, for the second game, if I can, I'll try to do everything myself, but obviously, music, I have to use assets. That I know for sure. Things like the UI graphics, merging with different text boxes. I would like to try to make a font myself, but I think I'll just stick with the RPG Maker font and just do as much as I can. Again, when it pertains to graphics, I can take care of that myself. It won't be the best, again, I'm still figuring out where I want to go from the skeleton of the characters I want to work with, but if I'm talking about the first game, which is probably going to be the more immediate release, that's going to be mainly just RPG assets and whatnot, so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean you can't make a creative game, and by no means does that mean you can't make a commercial project. And to flip that around, basically saying, you can make a commercial project with RPG Maker assets, but you don't want to do a complete asset flip, even though that is what I'm going to be doing. So we're going to see, well, not Herald, but if you can be somewhat creative too, that helps out. I mean, there is one very prominent RPG Maker game that has, at this point, moved away from asset flips, but it's essentially using a lot of assets that you can find around the web. But the developer in question is a very... well, I guess we'll just say they're very professional. Their writing is at a very professional level. So, again, if you have one very good thing you're good at, whether it's music, whether it's making characters, you don't have to be the best at designing a game. Obviously, it all needs to come together to be a product that people will like. But hey, do I use any plugins? Again, I've kind of since I'm using MZ, since these games are now going to be made in MZ, my games anyway, I basically use free plugins, so obviously Visual Stella. If possible, if I don't need to, I don't, but obviously credit where credit's due. I don't think I've actually bought any Visual Stella plugins yet. And I think all of their quote-unquote free plugins that they include with their demo are usable. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are they? I think they are usable on commercial projects because that's set in their terms. But if I'm wrong, correct me, because yeah, I don't want to really tread on any shoes there. But as for MZ, if it's MV, I have bought plugins, and they're mainly the Yanfly plugins. But for commercial projects, I've kind of transitioned. Now, that's not to say I haven't looked at any plugins for MZ, but I'm trying not to use as many as possible, basically. Basically being too minimal. Being as minimal as possible. That way, if plugins update or whatnot and something happens, then I don't have to deal with the bugs that come. But that being said, a lot of successful RPG Maker commercial projects have, like, dozens of plugins in them. Like, literally name any one of them, and they have at least a dozen. So, you're working too long in MV, move to MZ2, move to MZ yet? Yeah, I've moved to MZ just to practice because MV has lost support. Again, that's not saying you can't make a project in MV. You can certainly do so. But if you're making a new one from scratch at this point, I say move to MZ if you have the resources available, time, money, and or otherwise. But, so for example, for a smaller or a bigger team of one person, if everyone's used to MV, use MV. If everyone's not used to MV yet, and you'll know, again, I'm not every developer out there, but if I'm myself and I haven't put out a project that I've started from scratch out yet, then I'm just gonna move to MZ. And I think the plugin experience from MV has helped me out, but hey. Yeah, like Fear and Hunger, that definitely has more than a few plugins that are not just Yanfly, because that's MV, I believe. Yeah, MV. It has used more than a share of plugins. And it's some assets here and there, but for the most part, I think the developer, did a lot of touching up on a lot of other things, on top of creating graphics themselves. But yeah, as for my project, again, it's just going to be an asset. I'm going to start very small, though. With probably just a handful of characters. Again, it's going to be pretty much a kind of a PvP. It's not a PvP, but you get what I mean. You're facing other characters, basically, that you can play as. And I am currently in the phase of testing out numbers here and there. I think I have the general gist of things. But again, I'm not going to go too far for it. When I put something out, it's going to be very small. Probably not even going to be downloadable at first. I usually like my projects to be downloadable by people, but hey. You've been making RPG Makers for about 8 years, with a bit stubborn moving on from VX. Yeah, that's true. And again, even there are still projects, commercial and non-commercial, but definitely commercial, that have been somewhat successful, or at least bare minimum, that have come out that are even like Ace or VX Ace, even shorter than that, especially depending on, like, if you're going for pixel graphics, like you can work with even things before that. I keep forgetting the names, but VX Ace is the most common in terms of quote-unquote old RPG Maker uses. Wolf RPG is still something that's being used a lot more for personal projects. But again, that's not to say, again, you can work with a lot of RPG Maker engines, but you will have that stigma going in. But as long as it doesn't look too much like an RPG Maker game, hey. So yeah, without further ado, I think that we're just going to end this stream on that. If you have anything other questions as I close out the stream in about a minute or so, feel free to ask. I'll try to answer to the best of my knowledge. Not going to answer any requests for runs because my brain is kind of fried. But, anything else I'm working on this week is still going to be Harbinger Horror. Probably going to look at Hades 2 again, but we'll see what I really plan to do with that. Stardew Valley might slow down to a standstill because my current personal condition has changed. So I'll try to get it work. I'll try to do some Stardew if possible. Otherwise, it's going to be mainly World of Horror. If I stop doing Stardew, then I definitely want to move into RPG Maker stuff. Just, for no other reason. Again, I feel like I want to have fun with people, but we'll see. We'll see what actually happens there. But yeah, if no one else has anything else to say, there are other people. If you're still going to be on the internet, on YouTube or otherwise, there are other people are streaming, making videos right now. I'm definitely going to be watching certain streams or, VODs here and there because, listening to VODs as I work is, turns out listening to things that you're interested in the general sector of things is good for your brain to some extent. But also I need rest. So yeah, without further ado, I'd like to thank everyone for watching, either watching now or in the future. And, I hope you stay safe. Let's all be decent human beings at least. But try to be better on ourselves. And I will, get to working. For tomorrow's stream, I guess I'll see. We'll see. You really catch my lives. Happy to watch all. Yeah, anything you can do, I appreciate, and I hope we'll keep having fun together. Tomorrow's stream, I'm yet to be decided on, so we'll see what I do for tomorrow. I'll try to announce it after about 9 hours from now, but if not, something will happen, or maybe not. I'll let you know by then. But yeah, without further ado, thank you for watching, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!